Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Nerdy Knitter podcast. I'm Becca, and I'm coming to you from Connecticut in the United States. Today is Monday, August 8th, 2016, and I'm so excited that I'm doing my second podcast. I never thought I would be podcasting, and I'm just really excited that I'm starting to get used to talking to myself for an hour, and I've been meeting all of you guys on the Ravelry group, and I'm really excited about how this is all going. So if this is your second time with me, thank you for coming back, and please subscribe to my channel. If this is your first time with me, welcome, and I hope you enjoy talking about my yarny, crafty adventures. Today I'm drinking Numi tea, the jasmine green tea, in my favorite mug that I showed you guys last time. I do change my mug out, but this is my favorite, so this is what I have today. I'm going to try and keep my podcasts under about 25 minutes, maybe half an hour. I know that a lot of you guys are busy and don't really have that much time to watch podcasts, so I'm trying to keep mine as short as I can. I'll mostly talk just about my crafts. If you have questions you want to ask me, things you want to know, I will open an Ask Me Anything thread in the Ravelry group. And so most of those questions I'll answer there, but if there's anything fun or important, I'll answer them on the podcast. Otherwise, it's mostly going to be just showing you my crafts and kind of updating you on all the things that I'm making and doing. So I also opened a thread on the Ravelry group for kind of just positivity. I want to encourage you guys to show off the things that you're most proud of, and hopefully people can see all the different levels that people are knitting at. I wasn't really that great at knitting only a couple months ago, and so now that I've been practicing and doing a lot more, I can feel a lot more proud of the things that I'm making. So I just kind of want to give you the opportunity to show off the things that you're proud of, and to kind of get an idea as to what kinds of other things people are making and are happy with. So hopefully that'll spread some positivity and inspiration to other people in the Ravelry group. There might also be a prize for participating in that. I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of trying to destash some of my yarn, and so I might give some of that away to you guys just as a thank you for coming and participating in my Ravelry discussion. So thank you for those who have already been commenting. I really love reading your comments. I read all of them. It takes me maybe a little bit longer to reply, but I do try and reply to anything that gets posted on there, because it's just so sweet that you guys are reaching out. So thank you for those who left comments, and I will do my best to check that a lot and see what's new and if you guys are posting. I'll post also some of the things that I'm most proud of, just to kind of get things going and give you guys encouragement to do the same. So hopefully that spreads a little bit of positivity to everyone watching my podcast. I wanted to show you guys that I finished my leaves mitts. I know that I said that I'm really not good at finishing a second object when there's two of something. I felt really embarrassed that I admitted that to the internet, and so I had to finish. So these are what I did. The body is in just a red heart yarn from like Michael's or Joann's, and the tips and thumbs are in the Malabrigo Rios in their Lotus colorway, which is the same as the beret that I showed you guys last week. So it'll be a little matching set for me to wear in the fall. Unfortunately, I can't really wear them right now because it's so hot, but I'm absolutely in love with these, and now I don't need to just look at the unhappy thumb that was on this one. If you're new to knitting and are maybe feeling a little bit brave, this is a really fun lace and kind of cable-y type pattern to try. It's really, really easy. These were a really quick knit as far as the body is concerned, and you'll learn a lot of different skills that you might need for bigger lace and cable projects, but it's not as intense. There's just some yarn overs here, knit two togethers, and slip knits. So if these are things that you want to learn or practice, these are some really, really great mitts to get you started, and they really don't take that long. So I would definitely recommend this pattern to anyone who's looking to practice those things and get a little bit better at knitting. So those are my leaves mitts. I have a project for that on Ravelry if you want to check out my project page or the rest of the projects that have been knit in this particular pattern. My Ravelry and Instagram and any other kind of social media is the Nerdy Knitter 42. So you can find me on Instagram, Ravelry. You can email me at thenerdyknitter42@gmail.com. So yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, that's how you do it. I also, not really finished, but I started and got through the body of the other mitt that I showed you last week. I forced myself to cast it on, and I brought it to a meetup. And I said to myself that this is the only thing I'm going to do at the meetup. I am not going to bring anything else, and I'm going to try and get as much of it done. So I got through just about up to the thumb gusset at the meetup, and then I worked on the rest of the back of the hand while watching the Olympics yesterday and the day before. I love gymnastics. I'm really excited. Go Team USA. I'm really excited about watching our girls hopefully take home gold. So I got this done, which is really exciting. The cabling on these mitts is just so gorgeous. And the Malabrigo yarn is so squishy, and I love it. My one really sad problem is that the other mitt is like 3/4 of the size of this one. It's a lot smaller, and I'm not sure why. I used the same needles, same yarn, everything, and I just can't for the life of me figure out why it's smaller. I'm thinking maybe it shrunk while sitting around for a year. I don't know if that's a real thing. So that might be what happened. It could be that when the yarn sat in a cake for a while, something happened to the yarn. I don't know. If you have any ideas, please let me know. You know, leave me a comment or send me a message, because I would love to know how to avoid something like that happening in the future. But my current solution is to soak the other mitt and block it out as much as I can. So I've soaked it and I'm about to block it, and I'm hoping that I can just stretch it out in every direction. It seems like that might work. I don't know. But I'm really disappointed that there's such a huge size difference between the two, which is really sad. But I don't know, you win some, you lose some. Maybe I'll try that pattern again on yarn that I know just got wound. I don't know. Please leave me a message, because I'm really, really wondering how something could have shrunk so much. Usually things get bigger on knitting. I don't know. Anyway, those were my two kind of finished, sort of finished objects. I'll show you next week what happens with those mitts. I'll also post a project on Ravelry in case you want to see that when it gets blocked, and hopefully things work out with that one, because I'd be really sad if I couldn't wear them. I am really excited to show you guys that I've been working on a shawl pattern for Ravelry. It's going to be kind of a choose your own adventure pattern. I'm hoping that it will be suitable for all levels of knitting, for all experience levels. It's going to be for any weight yarn, for any size needles you have to go with that yarn. Hopefully it'll be a good stash buster. And yeah, I'm looking for some test knitters for this shawl. If that's something you're interested in, please contact me either via email or via Ravelry. I'm hoping to have this pattern completed and ready to kind of be released into the world without errors by the end of the month. But if it's something you want to knit sooner than that, I can show you the pattern. I could send you the pattern, and you can try it out. It's going to be something that everyone's shawl looks different because it's kind of a flow chart. You start with a generic cast on, and then you can move into a garter section or a stockinette section or a decorative section, and then switch kind of between those. And it continues to just kind of grow out into this big V-shaped shawl, triangle shawl. So it's really exciting to see it knit up because I'm just kind of using up what I have in my stash. I'm using the Electric Rainbow Madelinetosh yarn that I showed you guys last week. I couldn't really find a pattern that I desperately wanted to knit with this yarn, so I decided that I'd make my own. So I'll show you guys what I have on that. It's living in this new bag that I made this week. It's my camera bag. I got this fabric at Hobby Lobby. I'm not super crazy about Hobby Lobby, but this camera fabric is printed specifically for Hobby Lobby, and I just kind of had to have the cameras. I love photography. I worked for my school newspaper, and I just love the cameras. So I followed the Hue Loco holiday bag tutorial, which I'll link in the down bar, to make this bag, and I just love the way it came out. I love putting these little tassels on the zippers, and I added a little bit more of kind of structural support than is called for because I wanted it to be able to stand up on its own. I also lined it in 2 different colors because I didn't have quite enough to do the whole thing. It's a pretty big bag, and I had it so that you can cuff it down and kind of have a little yarn basket on the table. So this side is floral, this side is black, and I'm really just kind of satisfied with how this came out. So I'll link Hue Loco's tutorial down below so that you guys can sew your own project bags. She does a great job explaining step by step everything that you need to do. This was really, really easy. So my shawl, I'm so excited about this. I have quite a lot of it done. I knit on this for just about the whole weekend. I went to go visit my boyfriend in New York City for my birthday, and I spent the entire bus ride there and back knitting on this, and this is where I've gotten to so far. I used the Electric Rainbow Madelinetosh yarn for my stockinette section at the top, and then I just used a Cascade 220 yarn for moss stitching, which I chose as my decorative stitching here. You can use just 1 color if you want to use for your shawl, or more than 2 colors if you want. I chose the black and the Electric Rainbow because I think that this is a really great contrast. And once I'm done and I run out of the Electric Rainbow color, I'm going to knit the rest in moss stitch in black at the bottom so that it becomes a really big shawl. So it'll be 2 skeins total for this shawl. But you can use whatever you have kind of lying around your house and in your stash to create your personal shawl. So I'm really excited about this. Look for the pattern. If you want to test knit this and create your own shawl, please let me know because I'd love for you to do that. And I think that's about it for my knitting that I have on the needles this week, but I'm going to cast on for next week a pair of socks. This is going to be my first ever pair of socks. I really don't like socks. I know that's really horrible to say to a group of knitters, but I really hate the way socks feel on my feet. I hate everything about wearing socks. But I've decided that I need to learn to do it because it's a really great gift. They're apparently pretty fast to knit, and so I'm going to make a pair for my mom for her birthday. So Mom, if you're watching and you don't want to see this colorway before I finish the socks, then look away. But I picked this up at Knitty City this weekend, which is a yarn store in New York City. I absolutely love it there. They're so friendly, and they help you find whatever you're looking for. So I would definitely recommend Knitty City if you're in the New York City area. This is, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of getting washed out, but it's a Heritage Cascade silk paint, something like that, in their Mulled colorway, M-U-L-L-E-D, not mold, like mold on the wall, that would be gross. And it's got a lot of vibrant purples and pinks and grays, so I'm really hoping that this knits up into really pretty socks, because on the hank it was just so gorgeous and I couldn't pass it up. It's also really great because it's 15% silk, and so I'm hoping that my mom, who's a little bit sensitive to wool, will be less sensitive to this because it's a mixture of superwash wool and silk. I know I personally like superwash wool much better because it doesn't feel as scratchy, and it's not as itchy. So hopefully this goes well. That's my task for casting on this week. Also this week I want to sew another bag in a fabric that I talked about last week, but I'm going to try doing a drawstring bag, one of the project bags that's kind of tall and stands up on its own and you have two handles and pull it out, in this gorgeous, gorgeous fabric that's so cute. I can't stop like smiling when I see this fabric. It's my Happy Whale fabric. I think I talked about this last week. I picked this up at Joann Fabrics. You can probably find it if you live near Joann Fabrics. It's got smiley whales, and I have a contrast color in this kind of camel brown color that I'm going to use as a solid kind of stripe at the bottom, and the rest will be in this. And I'm still kind of looking to find a material to do the pulls out of. I want something sturdy enough that it's not just gonna kind of wimp out on me wherever I am. I think ribbon is just not sturdy enough for what I want, so I might make it out of fabric. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos and see what other people are using to kind of make those as sturdy as they possibly can be, because I feel like they get a lot of wear and tear, and yeah, I just don't want to see my hard work go to waste. So like I said, I went to the city this weekend because it was my birthday, and my boyfriend offered to buy me some yarn, and I'm not going to turn that down because I love yarn. But I think after this, I'm going to kind of put myself on a regimen and not buy anything else. I'm going to keep track of how much is in my stash and how much is leaving my stash, and kind of determine from there how much I can and can't buy. I'm one of those people who will just kind of see yarn in a yarn store and want to buy it, even if I don't really have a project in mind. So unless I have a very specific project that I want to make, I'm not going to buy anything else for now. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to try and use up all the stuff that I got this weekend before I buy anything new. Which is a challenge. I know, yarn stores are great. But I'll show you what I got. I got 2 more skeins of this Electric Rainbow, but I bought it in the Twist Merino Light, maybe. It's a fingering weight yarn, and so my hope is to make a featherweight cardigan out of this and do the sleeves in a contrast color, maybe black or peach. I'm not sure yet. There's tons and tons of different colors that I can choose as a contrast color, but I think black looks really cool with it, as you saw on the shawl, and I'm just excited to do something a little more garmenty than I have in the past. I know I showed you guys a sweater I'm working on last week, but I haven't really made progress on it yet, and I think I need something a little bit lighter for now. And so that's what I plan on doing with this. I'm not sure yet, but that's what I plan on doing with this. I also picked up some of the Manos Del Uruguay yarn in, let's see, the Bataclana colorway. This is so beautiful. It's got purples and blacks and whites, and I'm so excited to work with this. I've heard of this brand before, and I know people rave about it, and I just wanted to try it myself. So I think I'm gonna make a shawl. I know I make a lot of shawls, but I don't know, I want to do something with lace because of the weight of this, something that has a really cool pattern. I don't know. So that's my second acquisition. I also got, I know, more, Malabrigo, because I needed more Malabrigo, in their Anniversario colorway, which was released for their anniversary a couple months ago. And I think this is going to be a hat and cowl or a hat and mitts set. I'm not sure yet, but that's what I feel like this needs to be. It's not enough for a sweater, but it's definitely enough for a set of something, and I'm really excited to work with it. I love the rainbow colors. I love everything about it. The only thing I'm really kind of upset about is that even though these are two skeins from the same dye lot, this one is a lot darker and a lot more muted than this one. I have no idea why, but I'll just kind of alternate, I think, use them at the same time, and hopefully it blends well, because I'm really sad about that these are the same dye lot. Oh well. But I think that's all of my yarny acquisitions for the week, and I don't think I'm going to be getting any more, because that's enough to hold me over for a really long time. I'm going to really stick to that regimen because I just don't have any more space for yarn. And I think that's about it for all of my crafty adventures this week. If you want to keep seeing all the things that I'm making, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to see all the things you're making. Like I said, join our Ravelry group and share your item that you're most proud of. I'd love to see what you're working on, what you're proud of. It just makes me really happy to see all the things that you're making and you're doing and you're sewing and you're knitting. So I can't wait to see, and thank you for all the comments that you've left in the Ravelry group. I look forward to chatting with you a little bit more this week. So I hope to see you again next week, and have a good sewing, crafting week, guys. Bye.